Greetings and salutations, viewer. It is I, Eric J. Chucky, joined as always by The Boy.
Hi.
This is the Two Nerds Podcast, and today we got a little Comic-Con news report roundup. We're going to react to the Wikipedia article for AEW Redemption.
Which I have not seen and forgot they had a pay-per-view, so I have literally no idea what happened. So you get my genuine first reaction to that, if you're interested.
And that's about it. We start, as always, with a brief what is crumping. What is crumping with you, my friend?
We had a little break.
Mhm.
You may have noticed there was a podcast that was one of a series that we recorded some time ago. So it's been a little while since we covered what's crumping.
I think it was the last one of the 100% old format. I'd have to listen to the newer, because we still got a couple ready to
You'll
go,
see
but
podcasts in that format in the future if we ever feel we need to record some backlog.
well, I mean, it still end up being a little different, but
Anyway, I think I watched the movie Disturbia.
yeah, we watched Disturbia. That was fine.
It wasn't great, but like it was from 2007, so like I can grade it on a curve a little bit.
At the same time, it was from 2007. It probably should have been better.
Yeah, I'm grading on a curve, and it's still not great.
Yeah. Can't say I'm a huge Shia LaBeouf fan, so that probably.
I actually am, I wouldn't say huge fan, but I recognize that he's a very talented actor. He has some interpersonal problems. He's got some, he's not a great dude, as I understand it, but he's a very talented actor, and I imagine a big part of him not being a great dude is because he was a child actor. And the amount of child actors who are not extremely fucked up is vanishingly small.
I wouldn't know. I really don't follow his career or personal life. I remember him being a punchline for a while, and then that sort of fell off as we got new punchlines. I don't think I've really done anything of merit. I've been going through it, capital letters. So I've barely even worked on anything. Half-Life is done. I'm done with Half-Life. You guys can see the results of that all now. If you go to the Patreon at the $1 tier, it's all up there. I'm going to change how I do those in the future, because I only realized as of uploading the last bit of Half-Life 2 Episode 2 and then posting that to the Patreon, that when I make the videos live, they leave the playlist.
Oh no.
Yeah. So, because the playlist is private. So probably going forward, I'll do two versions. I'll do a full, everything in one video version, and that will go on the Patreon, and then I'll upload individual episodes and then put them in a regular playlist and then post the full version once it's over.
That's fun. A great big long bingeable something for you.
Yeah, who doesn't love to binge something? Man, I really feel like I had done something, but
I played some Marvel Rivals. It's still fun.
Demos. I've forgotten what they all were. But I've been meaning to say this for like a month now. We talked about a bunch of demos from the some sort of video game announcement series. I think it was the E3 replacement where everyone had their individual shows. Most of them were disappointing. Like that one that looked like Assassin's Creed, but you're an old-timey witch. Turns out it's a walking simulator.
That's unfortunate.
I feel very lied to. However, I also played the one where I was not prepared for this. I'm sorry, everyone. Where your boss is Napoleon and it's a first-person Souls-like. That looks rad.
We mentioned it we watched the trailer for it on a previous podcast. I'm glad it looks cool. I'm glad it plays good.
Yeah, it played good. It looks interesting. I'm down.
First-person Souls-like is an extremely ballsy move. Not being able to see where the fuck I'm rolling is...
Well, and it plays like a first-person game. It's just more that, you die, you go get your juice, you upgrade, that sort of thing. The pseudo-roguelike aspects of it. I played a bunch more demos, but they were like for shit that turned out to be actually kind of bad. So there's no need to really get into it. But I did play a bunch of demos. That was the thing that I did that I was pretty sure I had done And now I've told you about it, thus fulfilling the
The
contract.
the ancient contract.
Yeah, the accords have been completed. Would you like me to, off the cuff, do an ad read for our very channel?
You know what? I believe in you. Go forth.
There is a link tree in the description. There you can find our Discord where you can come chat with us and other members of the trash pile. We mostly talk about wrestling right now, but if you want to talk about other stuff, be the change you want to see in the world. I do have books. The long-running COLT REGAN series is urban fantasy, and Red Company is a cozy lit RPG isekai fantasy story, not progression fantasy. It is the first in a planned trilogy. There's also our Patreon, just $1 a month to get you gameplay videos a week early, access to any limited series we're doing, and exclusive videos, as well as at higher tiers, TTRPG content, with Wizards in Whites, my fantasy TTRPG, and Giallo Punk, which is based on the same universe as the COLT REGAN novels. You can get episodes of Violent Profiles a month early. You can tell us what to podcast about, what games to play, and a little bit more. There's a little bit of everything on there. If you could, like the video, leave us a comment, letting us know how you felt about our content today, and subscribe to the channel so you know when the next video drops. Moving on. So ComicCon happened this weekend. We have news from before that as well to chit-chat about. That you wanted to quite specifically crash out about something.
Yeah, so I'm past the point in my life when I bind up a whole bunch of my identity into giving a shit about various game studios. There are ones I trust and ones I don't. I trust Obsidian to make a good Fallout game, for instance. I don't trust Ubisoft because they are nigh on criminal psychopaths. And the first Ubisoft game I have been truly interested in buying in many years was coming out. They remastered Assassin's Creed Black Flag. The last Assassin's Creed game I liked or gave a shit about. And then I found out some information about Assassin's Creed Black Flag's remaster. One, it looks like ass. It looks worse. Just straight up worse. And two, they put fucking microtransactions into it.
No, I believe you specifically mean like a weekly challenge thing and
like a battle pass.
Basically.
In my single player 13-year-old video game, you have the fucking gall to include a battle pass. Unbelievable.
I have no attachment to this game or franchise. However, I agree Ubisoft sucks.
I just had to get that out of my system. I will not be buying that. Eat a dick.
In better news, Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, as you guys have probably already heard, we react to the news here, we don't report it, are getting remasters, officially speaking. Not anytime soon.
Bethesda does a good remaster. I liked the Oblivion one. Famously, if you watch this channel, White Raven didn't like it so much, but I liked it just fine.
It was, I will say this, way more faithful than the remaster we just talked about, in that I have said for decades, there is no reason for me to play Oblivion again. And lo, I was correct. So I'm hoping that the New Vegas one will feel better. I don't know that I care.
They'll probably have Obsidian do the New Vegas one.
Maybe. I don't know that I care about the Fallout 3 one.
I've really never felt the desire to go back to Fallout 3. I liked it just fine. But I never felt the desire to go back.
Yeah, that was a one and done for me. I think I beat the DLCs like way later, and then I was definitely done.
Yeah, because one of them was Far Harbor? Or no, that was a 4.
That was 4, yeah.
Whatever the one took place in, like, Appalachia. Everything had 4 billion hit points, and it wasn't fun.
Oh, yeah, the swamp one. I forget what that was called, too.
Lookout?
I don't remember.
Whatever. And in addition to that, Fallout 5 is now in pre-production.
Yes, they are the actual production team is focusing on the next Elder Scrolls game, and they won't stop that until it's done. But Fallout 5 is in pre-production, which is both good news for Fallout fans and good news for Elder Scrolls fans, because if it's in pre-production, that means the new Elder Scrolls game is close to finished production.
Praise be to the new CEO of Microsoft. She may not be a gamer, but she knows what we want. More games.
I feel, this is a small aside. The only thing I'm unhappy with, and I understand it, this is how you feel when I'm making a TTRPG and I have to nerf something broken that you loved using to destroy me. Like when they got rid of Endless Shrimp, a valid thing to do because it was bleeding them money. The last batch of games that have been added to Game Pass are friend slop. And there's nothing wrong with friend slop, that's just the term for it. They're not necessarily bad. I don't have Xbox homies. I don't necessarily want Xbox
You got
homies.
PC homies.
And even then, sometimes these guys bring me a game and they're like, man, this is the new killer app.
We play it twice.
And I do my best to keep my mouth shut, which is that I only bitch about 15%, 18% of the time.
My homie has refined taste. I do not. I love slop.
There's plenty of slop I do enjoy. I love Phasmo. Phasmophobia is a great game. I wish we played it more, but and I liked Lethal Company, actually. I don't know that I have any need to go back to it. I think we might be fine, but other stuff, man. Mecha Chameleon looks stupid.
It's a game I like watching. I would not like playing it.
No, because you got to draw, and you don't do that.
I'm very bad at it. I am astonishingly bad at it. The footage of the only thing I'm worse at is no longer available.
Yeah, we deleted that shit. Moving along, Stardew Valley is getting a Magic the Gathering crossover.
Oh, Universes Beyond is coming to the farm?
Yeah, I don't play Magic anymore. I've been meaning to sell off my collection for a long time now. It's just such a pain in the ass. But I'm glad. Yeah,
I love Universes Beyond. I don't play Magic anymore. I haven't really since high school. I played, for a brief time, me and him played after high school, but...
I so rarely get the chance to say this. I'm him.
Yeah, there you go. But I like Magic the Gathering content, and I'm happy about Universes Beyond because, it makes the people who are insufferable about Magic the Gathering angry, and I kind of like that.
A24 has revealed exclusive Backrooms 4K and Blu-ray editions with nearly 3 hours of special features. I haven't seen the Backrooms movie. I don't really care. I heard they added a monster to it, and that makes the whole premise make more sense as a horror thing. I don't think anybody's good enough. I think it would be hell to be trapped in a liminal space after a while once the madness starts to kick in. But watching a guy for 90 minutes trapped in a liminal space, I don't think that's going to do it, fam.
From what I understand, it's about 70 minutes of that.
Cool. Well, at least there's a monster at the end and you go, oh no. But anyway, I'm more celebrating that there's special features. Honestly, they've also announced that
I have missed special features.
Coyote vs. Acme is also getting a physical release that's going to have non-PG line flubs and on-set antics.
I've missed special features.
Yeah.
The death of the Blu-ray, the death of physical media is sad for many reasons. One of them is the death of special features, which I did enjoy. I have no interest really in watching Baron Mordo go crazy in a tan room, but I like that the special features are there, so I don't know how much is it.
Speaking of Baron Mordo, what a great segue, my friend.
I'm good at those sometimes.
We got the official trailer public for Avengers Doomsday coming in December.
Oh, yeah, we did. So I don't know how public I've been about this on the podcast. If you go to our Discord, I've mentioned it a lot. I've been very concerned about Doomsday because some of the casting decisions, returning Chris Evans, Robert Downey Jr. coming back, they smell desperate. But then I saw the trailer, and nah, it's gonna be peak. Fuck y'all.
It does look really, really good.
I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it as honest as I can with you people. I see a lot of people online be like, "Man, Marvel's washed. Man, this trailer looks dumb. Y'all suck. Y'all are haters. This is gonna be great. Fuck you."
Yeah, it's just an automatic response, either to get clicks or to bandwagon, or because people are genuinely fatigued with the movement, and for whatever reason, they need other people to also be fatigued of the movement with them.
Look, if you don't want to see Marvel movies, okay, no hate. That's fine. I watched half the most recent DC universe before the current one, so I guess now not most recent, the previous one, because I didn't want to watch those movies, so I didn't. You know what else I did? Aside from coming, if you came to this podcast to look for my opinion, then that's your fault. I didn't go into like public internet spaces and like rail about how much I hated Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice. I didn't. You know why? Because I got better shit to do with my life than be really mad about something I'm not gonna watch.
We're just not as into tribalism as most people. I don't want to say we're immune to it, because that's hubris, but
No, you were not immune to propaganda.
no, yeah, we did a whole podcast about that. But it's just I got no horse in this race. Do I want to see James Gunn succeed because we have similar creative minds? Yes. If James Gunn loses the DCU, I think that's worse for the DCU than it is for James Gunn.
Yeah, he'll go do something else.
And also, they're not bringing back Snyder. He's not coming back.
You gotta let it go,
gone.
boys.
He is a ham in the air.
The cope is so real. It's not just a little airborne. It's not still good. You gotta let it go.
When the Flat Earthers first started being a thing, and you were like, is that... The fact that the Snyder stands are still a thing, I feel like we've brought back popped collars, or some people never stopped doing it. There's nothing wrong with the trend, I guess. Zack Snyder made a couple of good movies. I used to really love his work. Are we on this still? Are you on this still? Do you not have another thing to love or hate?
You gotta have something else going. You gotta get some new hobbies. Anyway.
Speaking of the DCU, Clayface has its official trailer. What a great movie that I probably won't see.
It's in the DCU. It's James Gunn linked up. I probably will want to see it, but like it looks like a cool horror movie.
Yeah, it looks oopy though. Is oopy goopy.
Yeah, it looks gross.
Yeah,
but like it's supposed to. It's Clayface.
But it's like ultra horror Clayface.
Yeah, I am a little. Why did they give Matt Hagen Basil Karlo's backstory? I'm confused.
Iteration.
Just use Basil. Why did you just sort of you swap the character names around? Is it because Basil's a silly name? Is that it?
Maybe it's because that's the Clayface in the Harley Quinn show. And they're very different characters.
Maybe that's it.
Microsoft, talking about them again, has announced the Xbox backward compatibility is coming to the PC. We have started this with a couple of games. I have to click through here. I hope nothing starts playing here on IGN. Blinks, The Time Sweeper, Fusion Frenzy, Crimson Skies, High Road to Revenge, and Conquer Alive and Reloaded. They're going to be bringing more, but if you have the PC, if you have access to those games, whether through purchase or Game Pass, and you have a PC Xbox account, you can play them on there, and I think that's really cool.
No one was asking them to do that.
Yeah.
No one expected that, and they did it anyway, and that's pretty based.
I'm not really interested in any of those games, but more are coming. That's just what they've got for us so far. Sort of feels like the Nintendo Switch Online, in a sense.
Yeah.
Marvel, this is, I believe, the beginning of our ComicCon news, has mapped out its movie plans up to 2042. And Kevin Feige says that they are planning to streamline things, which I see as probably collapsing the multiverse.
Probably collapsing the multiverse, probably fewer TV shows.
Yeah.
Because the TV show, more than the movies have all still done pretty well. Even the ones that didn't, weren't humongous, like, Thunderbolts, have done pretty well. The general consensus is that the TV shows have been largely unsuccessful.
It's a difficult metric, as I understand it, to measure how well your thing did by subscriptions sold.
It's just not... There's not a lot of great data visibility there.
Yeah. But they're gearing up for the new X-Men movies. They're trying to get a live-action Miles Morales movie, and I have heard, I might have posted this later from Comic-Con, but it's also been reported that they are not doing a reboot.
Well, I mean, traditionally Marvel doesn't really.
No, Marvel Comics, no.
Marvel Comics has had some soft, like, updates.
Sure.
Where the sliding timescale has been officially sort of updated so that, Tony Storm,
I would read Marvel comic with Tony Storm in it.
Tony Stark is now, he was abducted in the Middle East instead of Vietnam. That's happened a few times, but they're like soft. To my knowledge, I don't know that there's ever been a hard reboot since like the 60s. So It would be weird if the movies did, but there's probably going to be a soft one.
Yeah, I could see that, but they've definitely said no hard reboots. We're just going to be continuing onward, and I think that makes sense with what you're doing, with what they seem to be doing with the movies and series. I'm excited for what's to come. I say that, and then we arrive at Ryan Gosling being cast as Ghost Rider in the announced upcoming Ghost Rider movie.
1, we get an MCU Ghost Rider movie. Dope.
That's pretty dope.
2, Ryan Gosling. That's fun. That's fun casting.
I have mixed feelings on him as an actor, but I think Ghost Rider is one of the less offensive places you could stick him.
I'm going to be entirely honest with you. I don't know that I've actually seen Ryan Gosling in enough shit to have a really solid opinion of him as an actor. He's like fun and funny as a guy. I've seen in like various interviews and stuff, but I don't know any of his big movies that I've seen. I haven't seen the new Blade Runner. I haven't seen The Notebook. I haven't seen whatever the hell else he's been in. I'm sure I've seen him in a movie somewhere, but it's just not coming to me. So I don't have a lot of prepared opinions for him as an actor, but like he's a big name. That's fun, and like he's usually pretty. He's got good energy. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything against him as a person.
I haven't seen La La Land. That's another one.
You named like 4 movies I have no interest in.
And you've now unlocked the reason I've never seen any of his.
This is just a fun thing. I thought it was fun. Sometimes I post fun stuff in our collected newsreel. Leading up to the release of Spider-Man Brand New Day, you can find Spider-Man in significant places in New York on Google Maps Street View doing Spider-Man stuff. There's also the Punisher and the Hand are there. I think that's really fun and cute.
I know you were hoping that it would not actually be the Hand, that they would be placeholders for something else.
Yeah.
It's probably the Hand, guys.
I'm still holding out hope for 2 things. One seems very realistic. One is my fever dream. And you know what? I'll announce it here. I very desperately want MJ's new boyfriend to be Paul.
God, that's so demonic. That's so demonic that I can't even be mad at him. He's actually he hasn't Paul pilled me, but he's fully made such a positive case for Paul that I kind of want to see it too, just if for no other reason than the unbelievable crash out.
That is, much like me at the Cody Rhodes losing WrestleMania chicken in the ring incident, that's part of it. I just don't, man, a lot of people, I get so tired of this. And I've been a victim of this too. Don't get me wrong. They changed Final Fantasy, and what it is now I'm not into. And that's only one of the things. But like, fucking relax. Let him tell a story also. Paul is a dead man. Miss him.
I can't add to that, so I'm going to go back.
All right.
I'm going to go back because I did a quick research. Genuinely, the only Ryan Gosling movie I can recall having ever watched in my life is Remember the Titans.
You know what? You want to hear something funny? I saw that movie in high school. I can't really remember anything about it. It was a football movie. I hated it. He was
charming in that.
I think one of the kids was gay.
Probably.
Yeah, I think that was part of the big storyline. Or from California, which was the same thing in the early 2000s. Good news, happy news. I put this here for my friend to similarly react to. Akira Toriyama was inducted into the Will Eisner Comic Awards Hall of Fame at Comic-Con.
Extremely deserved.
I like to make fun of his art style, especially I added that's new. Especially his mid-career, I don't want to call it phoning it in, but he just sort of fell in love with circles and triangles, forgot all other shapes existed, and basically drew the same thing over and over. And I got kind of tired of it because all of the people when I was growing up tried to draw exactly like Akira Toriyama. So it's the only art style I saw for a long time. But he was also a really good writer. He's a funny guy. And I do agree that this is incredibly deserved.
Yeah, unbelievable. He's one of the... If there is a Mount Rushmore of manga and anime, Toriyama's got to be on it.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that 1,000%. I still have good feelings about Chrono Trigger. So, he's also designed some other stuff that was really rad. Black Panther 3.
Yeah, 2028. So it's a couple years from now, end of 2028. But they're going to be doing another Black Panther movie, another standalone, which is excellent. And it's supposed to, I don't know if star, but star David Johnson as T'Challa Jr. I honestly think the character's name is also T'Challa.
Yeah, I think they revealed that at the end of Black Panther 2.
Yeah, so he's playing the son of Chadwick Boseman's T'Challa, and that's great. That's a way of still having Black Panther T'Challa as the main character of the movie without, recasting.
Yeah, I think that's...
And they're doing a time skip, so it'll all line up, and I like it.
I think it's a very comic books answer to the problem.
Yeah, I think so too, and I think it's a good answer, and I'm excited to see it because the Black Panther was a great movie.
There's a bunch of other details that came out at Comic-Con. A lot of it didn't really seem worth reporting on. It does seem like we're going to have Sinestro in the Green Lanterns show, so that's pretty exciting.
Yeah! Sinestro and his slender fingers.
And his slender fingers, an inside joke nobody gets.
That's okay.
You know what?
Sometimes it's for us.
If one of you guys gives, who's cool, one of you who's cool, comments and asks for us to explain the slender fingers Sinestro thing, I will do a Patreon. We will do a Patreon mini podcast about it and let you in on the show.
It'll be fun.
All right. Wrestling news in general has been light lately. We're sort of all waiting for August. Both us in returning to watching an AEW pay-per-view and a lot of contract
fallout happens in August.
Yeah. I've heard reports, these are just reports, that there are 13 people that AEW has signed that are waiting to debut.
Oh boy.
That might be bullshit.
I love him. He's a great talent. I really fucking don't want Malachi back.
Yeah. I feel like he's fucked some stuff up. I think we'd see CM Punk back sooner.
I can't trust him.
No, I just really, I agree with you on that. But because we do love the sport of wrestling, the art of wrestling, the entertainment of wrestling, we're going to do a quick reaction to the results of AEW Redemption. I've already read these. My compatriot has not. The pre-show. The conglomeration, which was Orange Cassidy, Roderick Strong, and Kyle O'Reilly, defeated the Lethal Twist, which is Jay Lethal, Blake Christian, and Lee Johnson, a veteran and two jobbers.
Well,
it was a trios championship match.
Yeah, they gotta defend them once in a while.
Somebody has to.
The conglomeration is great. I'm sure the match was fine. The trios championship stays dog water. It is such a waste.
There was a 6-way ladder match to determine the number one contender for the International Championship. We had the returning El Clon and the Beast Mortos, who fixed their visa issues, Commander, Nick Wayne, Jack Perry, and winner Mike Bailey.
Yeah, Speedball's going to get himself an international title match that he'll lose.
Yeah, that is the case. But you know what? They're getting one, and that makes me happy. I do like Speedball, even though I'm not really watching, and sometimes there are Balatro cards on the outfit. We had a tag team match, some sort of grudge match between the Death Riders, John Moxley and Will Ospreay,
He's an official Death Rider now, gang.
and the Young Bucks, Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson.
These guys needed some shit to do on this show.
Well, it sort of makes sense in storyline because it's been Omega as the angel and Mox as the devil on Ospreay's shoulders. Some people think this is peak fiction. I'm not one of those people.
I'm going to be honest with you. If I could trust John Moxley to deliver a solid conclusion to a storyline, I would, one, be watching this, and two, think it's peak fiction. I know myself.
Yeah, I don't care.
I don't either, but that's John Moxley's fault.
Sure, yeah. They might be heels again. There was some shenanigans that led to the Young Bucks' win, some miscommunications and things like that, if I'm remembering correctly.
Okay.
Precisely. Bandito got his ass handed to him by Kyle Fletcher to retain the AEW International Championship.
That sucks for Bandito, but they're all in on Fletcher, man.
They're all in on Fletcher. I don't like him.
Jay White. It's fine. It's good to have Randy Orton back.
He's still in the wrestling, the WWE.
No.
He's still there.
No.
He's teaming with what's that man's name? Pat McAfee.
It's almost like I can hear his voice.
I'm teaming with Pat McAfee. Triple H lets me sleep sometimes now. That's neat. So yeah, Jay White is back. Juice Robinson is his partner. They were defeated by David Finlay and Clark Connors, the Dogs.
Absolute miscall. Jay White is an established talent. Juice Robinson is, honestly, he can get anything over. He's very charismatic. And the Dogs, one, have a worse name, and that's saying something. I fucking hate the name, the Bang Bang Gang. And they're completely replaceable. There's a bald man with a beard, I believe, one of them is. And then the other one is like, I remember him as being Kmart somebody else, but I don't even remember who.
Jay White, I think.
So,
this would have been a confusing match. It was a double chain match, and I've heard that there were some difficulties with the gimmick because it was long.
Also, that's a terrible gimmick. Don't do that.
Well, they're dogs. This was the Puppy Bowl.
I'm tired. I'm so tired. I think I have to go. I have to move on now.
Maya World defeated Hikaru Shida to become the AEW TBS champion.
I'm glad Shida got a run with the TBS title. As I understand it was a cool heel run, although very short it seems. I'm more glad that Maya World got something. That's awesome. I kind of wanted her to go all the way in the Owen. So that she's getting a TBS title run instead, I think is pretty cool.
I think this is a better recoup than the way they handled the Acclaimed and the championships they had back when they had them.
Yeah, they failed to strike when the iron was hot, but instead of just doing it anyway later, they went and pivoted to something else to let the characters shine. And I like that.
Cage and Cope retained their AEW Tag Team Championships against Claudio Castagnoli and Pac.
Not a good night for the Death Riders in general. Losing to just aging tag team wrestlers.
Tommaso Ciampa was defeated soundly by the Painmaker Chris Jericho.
I'm glad I don't have to watch that and try and take that stupid name seriously.
It was a no-holds-barred match, so Jericho used his most dangerous hold, whatever he won the match with, and he was wearing his really bad crow face paint.
Look, Christopher Irvine. When applying crow face paint, as with most face painter makeup, you need a layer of foundation to make the highlight colors pop.
If I remember correctly, when he first did it, it was a heel thing, so it was sort of tongue in cheek. But he's a babyface here, so I don't know. Maybe he showed up and it looked better.
I really genuinely doubt that. Chris Jericho could sell me I could be living in Alaska and he could sell me snow. He's so good at getting shit over. If I was watching, I bet you I would have had a good time with this.
I would have been so mad about how ugly it looks, and you would have been over there doing your little grin and being like, come on, he's the Painmaker.
Yeah, I really would have been. I know myself. That's exactly what it would have been. I would have had to withdraw, internalize the Mentos jokes, and now I don't have to. That's a bad name. That's a bad name. Sounds like he's Mentos. It sounds like he's Goth Mentos. Don't do that.
Mark Davis held the AEW National Championship. I forgot about that. Not anymore, though. Andrade El Idolo took it. Before you ask, it's written here on Wikipedia.
Why are you going to steal that from me?
Because I hate his stupid catchphrase.
I love it. I love it because it's stupid. It is stupid, and that's why I love it. I think I might have bad taste.
He's been saying it for years, and I've been like, nah, it's just different. But coming around his way of thinking. Proving me wrong by action. Willow Nightingale clashed against Tekla for the AEW Women's World Championship. And she came out on top, did Willow. Very happy for our girl Willow.
Yeah, awesome. Tekla had a great run with the title. Every bit of it I saw was fun and entertaining. But Willow Nightingale, AEW Women's World Champion. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And finally, our main event. Kevin Knight was challenging Kenny Omega for the AEW World Championship in a match he was never going to win. And guess what? He didn't. The more interesting thing here is a lot of people think that Kenny is going heel to go into his match with Ospreay. Because he was very, you'll never be me. You can't have the AEW Championship to Kevin Knight. And then, and please let me get through this. After the match, when the Death Riders showed up, and there was a chair involved, and they were going to Pillmanize some part of Kenny's body, and Will Ospreay was like, no, don't Pillmanize Kenny. And Mox said, you're right, we should kill him with the plastic bag instead. And then he thought about it, did Ospreay, for a long time, about whether or not he should commit Kenny Omega murder.
Yeah.
And then ultimately decided, no, I will not kill him with this plastic bag. And then Kenny Omega saw that he had a plastic bag and was standing over him and was like, I'm going to end you now. I'm going to one-winged angel you. How dare you think for such a long time about killing me? I'm hurt in a way that I hope you can fathom. And so the audience reaction is, oh, Kenny going heel.
I don't know what sort of brain poison Jon Moxley put in the AEW audience, but they're not faces, guys. They were never faces. You randomly decided to cheer them? Moxley has never turned. He has been portraying the same prick this whole time, but he's perfectly happy to accept your cheers if you're giving them. They were never faces. Killing people with a plastic bag is bad. That's a bad guy thing to do in pro wrestling. I didn't know that I needed to fucking explain that to you.
Have you seen the number of skulls on Claudio's outfit?
He's trying so hard to make you see that he's the baddies.
But that is all for our wrestling report today, our reactions to wrestling news. Do you have any closing wrestling thoughts before we move on to our next wrestling segment?
I'm looking forward to All In.
Wrestling. Guys, it's mail fraud.
Yep, time to steal some things, everybody.
Yeah. Is it might be mail crypt?
It's mail grave robbery.
Yeah. I might be Lara Croft, Tomb Raider of mail. I am the one of us with the larger tits. Star Platinum.
For now.
Wow, God. God. My homie's gonna come home one day with implants, and I'm gonna be like, he said what he did, and he did what he said. Star Platinum asks the AEW Games podcast, which may or may not be defunct, how different would the world look if Atari had won the console war?
Well, probably real different. I assume, Star Platinum, powerful and intelligent stand that you are, that's not the answer you're looking for. You'd like us to fantasy book Atari winning the console war, I feel is what this person is asking for.
I don't feel like we would have had as strong of an inclination toward first-party characters and first-party.
You feel like Nintendo
franchises.
really burned that into the gamer psyche?
Yeah, Nintendo had the Mario, Sega tried to copy it with Sonic. With no, grudge there, it worked. Why wouldn't you do the same thing?
Yeah, I mean, come on.
That would be like saying, I can't believe AEW copied WWE by having a main title. That's just how it's done now. But Atari wasn't really like that. They didn't have like a franchise guy. They had a bunch of like games, but not an icon. So if
you feel as though gaming may be different in that it would be less tribal, maybe?
Perhaps. And I just don't think the 90s would have quite looked the same, and that would have had a ripple effect.
Because, I mean, nobody won the console war, is the thing. Atari certainly lost.
Well, and there's like an ongoing. Like, we can mark lines. Nintendo won the first console war.
Against Atari, yeah.
PlayStation has been winning most of the rest of them, except for the brief time Nintendo came back.
There was Xbox 360.
Yeah, Xbox 360
won
was
that generation exclusively.
I thought there was one they had, but I couldn't quite remember. But yeah, Nintendo still exists. So
I think that's a good theory. Atari was an inferior product.
Yeah, even their better consoles just weren't as good.
If they had won the console war, there's every possibility home console gaming doesn't take off like it did.
Sure.
Because if the person who won out was the inferior product, presumably they're not going to have as much market share, because even if they beat the other console, not as many people are going to want to buy it. It's bad.
So I think the end point of your theory here is that somebody else would have won the long-term console war.
I think Atari may, unfortunately, have been doomed. Even if they managed to dethrone Nintendo through some sort of evil magic, eventually Sony would have showed up. And I feel like the PlayStation clears regardless.
That's a valid thought, man. Very valid thought indeed. Thank you, Star Platinum, for your question. We will move now on to the questions that you do not admit to your theft source.
No, look, if I'm going to commit a crime, I'm going to not get caught.
Let's go with this question here, anonymously sourced. How important is realism in movies and TV to you?
I think that is a very sort of, I don't know, man, I guess it depends sort of question.
Yeah.
Because what do you mean by that is the question.
I think there needs to be a certain amount of verisimilitude, and I think there needs to be internal consistency. And I think that's more accurate than like a realism binary yes-no sort of thing.
Because realism is kind of a fuzzy term.
Sure.
Because, most of the fiction I like, look, guys, I don't like historical fiction that much. I don't hate it. I've enjoyed some, but I don't like it that much. So almost all the fiction I have is going to be in some way speculative fiction. It's going to be sci-fi. It's going to be fantasy. So realism, it's a very fuzzy term. What do you mean by that?
Yeah.
I am assuming you don't mean, oh, I can't believe this show. I don't like this show. There's dragons in it. Dragons aren't real. I'm assuming you don't mean that person who's listening to this podcast, because you wouldn't be listening to this podcast if that was your opinion.
Some people hate watch us. Hey, haters.
Yeah, you know what, haters? If you're the kind of person who's like, oh, I never liked Game of Thrones. Dragons aren't real. You missed out on a lot of heartache, and I'm happy for you, but also, haha, loser, you're just denying yourself a whole lot of good times.
I basically agree with what you said. Most of the stuff I watch is pretty fantastic. I get tired of like tropes we've already proven very publicly aren't a thing. Like, I have shot this car twice, thus it will blow up. We know better now.
I think those have a place, but those have a place in a hyper-real setting. Like, that you need to set the table that this is the kind of place where if I shoot a car, it blows up.
Sure. Your use of the term hyper-realism here, to clarify for our audience, is a specific thing that is like an absurdist version of reality, not extremely real.
Right. I I don't mind tropes. I don't mind genre conventions. I'm not the kind of person who, because I know that, as a for instance, most sword play in fiction, in like visual fiction, is very, very unrealistic and upsets people who like swords in real life a lot. I fully don't care. I simply do not care. So long as it is internally consistent and believable, that's all I need.
There is a point where I know too much about a thing, and then when I see that not working the way it's supposed to, it becomes difficult for me to maintain my suspension of disbelief.
I think so too. I have that as well. For instance, I have a counterexample to my own point. I used to watch the show Bones, but at a certain point, Bones was so unaware of how money actually works, I could no longer continue to watch the series.
I also tapped out around then. Yeah, so it's not. I guess if you're out there trying to watch something very realistic for realism reasons, it's very important. But that's not really us.
It's a sliding scale. It
Sure.
depends on how much you know about that thing, I think ultimately is the answer.
We've got a great question here from Wes. I believe this is Wes Borland, the guitarist for Limp Bizkit.
Yeah,
bassist?
sure.
I
I mean,
can't
we had a
remember
question
which.
from Star Platinum.
Sure,
earlier.
yeah. What are your favorite and least favorite character redesigns? This is off the cuff, so it's not set in stone, of course.
Yeah, this is what we can think of at the moment.
I like a lot of the Rivals redesigns for Marvel characters, and some of the Tokon ones are pretty crisp too. I think we get a lot of actually fighting game redesigns more often than not tend to cook. You get a lot more detail in the outfits. You get homages to like previous ensembles. Those are some of my top tier hard redesigns. I don't think you could call the redesign on Mario from Mario 3 to now a redesign. Maybe Mario World, because I guess he was kind of wearing black pants in 3. It's the same guy, just with more detail.
Yeah. I like the MCU redesigns for most MCU characters. Usually they are a crisp, clean modernization of what can sometimes be a pretty goofy fucking visual of a comic book character.
I'm having that problem with Wolverine, the video game. When he's got the hood on, he looks a little silly.
It's because he doesn't have eye black on. He doesn't have like the eye shadow.
I think it's also like too bulky, the hood. It looks like a helmet.
Well, yeah, and it's a cowl, but like it
Yeah.
has those very rigid bits, and if the underlying structure isn't rigid, they'll be floppy. So
This is the realism point. I don't care.
yeah, no, me neither.
I want
really.
it to look cool. I don't want it to look like my guy is wearing a football helmet he painted at home and took the grid off of. Are there any video game redesigns that you would like to share? I have accent now.
I don't know about video game. You know what? Can I use this moment to bitch about something we covered earlier in the podcast?
They asked us for the worst ones too. Yeah, go ahead.
I hate a lot of the visuals of Dragon Ball Super. Some of the redesigns of characters, and I'm calling them redesigns because the art looks different. They're just bad. They look weird and not correct and off model and weirdly weedy and thin. Like, if you look at how characters in Dragon Ball Z are drawn, right? And then you look at how, you know what? As a great example, adult Gohan from Dragon Ball Z, the Buu arc. Now go look at adult Gohan in like the beginning of Dragon Ball Super. That is such an that, to use the modern term, that is an unrecoverable aura loss.
I'm trying to think of a redesign I really don't like that is not from Marvel Rivals. And I'm having a hard time, I'll be honest with you. Usually I'm just sort of like, okay. I guess Trellis Face from the Amazing Spider-Man.
The Amazing Spider-Man movies, iteration of the Spider-Man suit was not my fave.
No, I don't feel, I guess I just don't feel that strongly usually. There's been like audio changes and character changes that I didn't like. I'm thinking of a bunch of League of Legends stuff, but like visually speaking, it's usually pretty good. Like I don't really have much to hate. I guess Twiggy Victor.
Twiggy Victor's a good one.
Yeah, he's still mostly the same guy, but like
he's lost a lot of his charm.
Yeah, he's a different dude now, and I get why, but
come on.
Yeah, come on, man. Make it a skin. Make some money off of it. Don't do the rework like that, you idiots. That's it for questions for us today. That's it for this podcast today. We have one more thing we must do.
What is that?
And that is to deliver our thanks unto our trash elite, Dustin and Kitty Holbrook, and a guy from Ohio. Elite 2, Rob. You're counting. I thought you had a question.
No.
He's raising his hand. You can't see that because I'm not going to animate it. DG, Destru CDKTL, Drake Starstorm, and Passion Killer 711. Thank them. Thank you for listening. Thank you for playing. Good night. And do you have any closing thoughts?
No.
Fucking catchphrase at this point.